Hello, everyone. I am Kiara Thompson, and I'm here with my friend Rasheda Thomas. We have a 10-year gap, and I have like a few questions I want to ask her. The first question is, how was it when you were growing up?
Okay, so hello. Um, well, growing up, first of all, I don't know how long this have to be, but growing up, I can actually say it was really, really good for me. I had both sets of grandparents. I had my mom, my dad, so I was kind of a spoiled child. But I did have a few tragedies. I was hit by a car when I was like 8, and that kind of hindered me a little bit. But as I got older, I decided to make a change for myself, and just because I got hit by a car, I didn't let that hold me back. So, growing up in that time, in that era, is Tupac, Aaliyah. See, Aaliyah, we had the best of Aaliyah, and my time actually growing up around that time was really good. So, yeah.
So, do you remember what happened in the world when you were growing up?
Like I said, the most thing that I can say around that time was very important to me was Tupac.
Right.
I love Tupac, but you know what? It was a lot of things in the world. It still was the shooting of the black man. That haven't changed. I remember a lot of poverty. I remember food stamps. Like a lot of people was on food stamps. My mom was on food stamps. I remember going to the store, getting milk with the brown, green, or purple food stamps. So, I mean, that was some of the things that was going on in the world, but it was a lot of poverty. It was a lot of racism. Pretty much the stuff that's actually happening today.
So, what about as you being a teenager, starting going to teenage years?
So, in my teenage years, it was actually kind of difficult because before, like I said, even though I had my mom and my dad around, my dad wasn't as present as I wanted him to be. So it was a time where I kind of needed him more, that he wasn't really there because he was like a workaholic.
Right.
So my teenage years was kind of rough, but I worked through it.
So, compared to my generation, your generation, what's the difference?
Okay, so much. The difference between now and growing up, I would say pretty much it is a little bit different. I noticed that the people my age is a little bit more laid back. Now it's like the kids now. I'm gonna say kids because it's like they just don't care. They say whatever they want to say. They disrespectful. It used to be like a thing where the younger kids respect the adults and stuff, but now it's just a little bit different now.
Okay. So, what values are most important to you?
The values that's most important to me is family. Family is like the number one thing. Because family and friends. Because I feel like without family and friends, you really don't have no structure, and then you have to have something to pass down to the younger kids. So I feel like that's one of the values that's very important to me.
Okay. So, how would you like to be remembered? You don't mind me asking.
Well, knock on wood. If anything would ever happen to me, I would want to be remembered just a person who's very giving, helpful, nice, kind, and tough. Don't mess with me, and I won't mess with you. But no, really, I really want a private thing. I don't want people that didn't really mess with me while I was living to come to my funeral. I'd rather have people who were my genuinely family and friends. I would want a private homegoing.
Okay, so do you like talking about what would happen if you was ever leave? Like,
you know what? Before, I never really liked to talk about that, but now that I have 2 children under me, I feel as though I should, because really importantly, I don't want, if something were to happen to me, I won't want no one to separate my kids. I don't want nobody to be like, oh, I want this one, I want this. I want them to be together. So if you take one, you got to take the other. So I wouldn't mind talking about it because, I have, in this age, I have established a lot. I've opened 2 businesses. I got houses and stuff. So, yeah, I want to talk about it. I want to make sure that my kids get whatever I have to, give to them. Yeah.
So the most important values that you want your kids to have is like self
I want them to be entrepreneurs.
Okay.
I really don't want my kids to be workers. I want
Okay.
them to have their own business,
Your boss.
to be young blood bosses, because I feel like I want them to work hard for something that no one could take it from them.
Right.
You know, I don't want them to be like, oh, I'm going to get up and go to work every day, but then their job is no longer there. I want them to be self-employed, and I want them to be respectful and spiritual. God is like the number one thing, and you can't do anything without Him.
Right. So that was my interview with my friend Rasheda Thomas. And it was nice talking to you guys and talking with her. So have a wonderful day. Thank you.